Me Bend Your Ear minicast. So after almost 5 years, actually after 5 years of doing this podcast, I'm finally able to hopefully do a live Instagram. So hopefully the software that I use is working now. I'm doing a test right now. So I'm going to start by doing a mini cast. So the purpose of the mini cast is going to be to hopefully get more interaction on the show, get more fans to the show here. So that's the plan, to use the mini cast, so to try to go on for quick little podcast regarding small subjects as opposed to my full review of a movie and the regular podcast where I discuss and review a certain film. I'm going to try to use these mini casts to come on in between regular episodes. I think it's going to be helpful to me because I don't post as much as I'd like due to time constraints and being able to do full episodes. So this is quick little things I can do really fast and just kind of pop off things that are on the top of my head. So like I said, this is the first test episode. If you're watching now, welcome. If you do see me on Instagram right now live, if you can either put a thumbs up or put something in the chat just to let me know. I'll check back later after I'm looking at it. I can't really check right now, but hopefully I am live on Instagram as well. So just a couple things I wanted to get into is, one, I've been all the award seasons are going around here, so I know I think the SAG Awards happened. I think they broadcast them on Netflix, which I actually didn't know until after the fact. So it looks like, based on the awards that I've seen so far, Oppenheimer is going to be cleaning up the awards. Best Actor, Supporting Actor, Director, I know, cast, everything like that. So it looks like Cillian Murphy is going to win Best Actor. Now, I posted on Twitter last week, about Paul Giamatti. If you listen to this podcast, you know that Paul Giamatti is one of my favorite actors. And he was nominated, of course, for Best Actor for The Holdovers, which he gives a great performance. You can go back to the archive. I reviewed it. Actually, that's my most recent review, so you can check out my review of The Holdovers there. He's fantastic in it, and like I said, I've always been a big fan of his. So I don't think he's going to win. I'm rooting for him because I have a soft spot for him, but I get it. Cillian Murphy's performance in Oppenheimer is fantastic, and it's a fantastic movie. So it looks like from what I can see, it's going to clean up at the Oscars. So that's going to be insane. The other big news I know is in the realm of comic book movies. So we've got Superman Legacy, which is going to be written and directed by James Gunn, of course, of Guardians of the Galaxy fame, the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker television show. So, and of course, more importantly, as you know, along with Peter Safran, James Gunn runs the DC cinematic universe now, and Superman Legacy is going to represent the first film in that new regime. So basically a rebooted Superman, which from what I understand, the limited stories we have on what it's about, as far as I know anyway, I know it's a younger version of Superman, and I know they did the table read this week, and they're going to start shooting, I think, in March. And the movie's supposed to be released, I believe, July 25th, 2025. I know it's coming out summer of 2025, but shooting's going to start soon. So for me, I mean, obviously a Superman movie, Christopher Reeve will always be the definitive Superman to me. Regarding the iteration since then, I mean, Brandon Routh's Superman and Superman Returns, I haven't reviewed it for the podcast, but my quick review here, that's the Bryan Singer film, is 2/3 of a good movie. I think the third act is not very good. Brandon Routh was fine as Superman. Then Henry Cavill as Superman, I had no issue with. Again, neither one of them is going to top Christopher Reeve for me. Man of Steel, I'm not a big fan of it. He was fine in the movie, but I'm just not a fan of the Zack Snyder ones. Batman versus Superman was, I thought, awful. Not a big fan of it. Now, surprisingly, Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, I actually enjoyed more than I thought I would. But now we're going to get another iteration of Superman to relaunch the DC cinematic universe. Obviously, the previous regime. Last film was Aquaman 2, which I never saw. Aquaman 1, which of course underperformed, and the last couple of films underperformed: Blue Beetle, Aquaman, The Flash, which I'm trying to remember. I don't think I reviewed it for the podcast. There's a lot of hate for the Flash. I actually enjoyed the Flash. The one thing after, 6-7 months since it's been out in the summertime, the one criticism I will agree with is the special effects in the Flash are muddled. They could have been way better, but I thought as a story and I thought as a movie, I actually enjoyed it. Is it one of the best superhero movies ever made like they claimed? No, it's not. But I enjoyed it, I think, a lot more than other people did. So that's coming out. Like I said, Superman Legacy's coming out in 2025. So again, this mini cast, like I said, I'm just playing with this right now, hopefully to get some more engagement from the audience, hopefully some engagement from Instagram as well. My goal is always to try to grow the podcast. And like I said, to try to be online more often, to engage more often. And hopefully this will be an easy way for me to do it in between episodes so I can have content out there more frequently. So that's my goal there. So again, this will be like 5 to 10 minutes, maybe longer, depending on what we're talking about. So again, if you do see it on Instagram after the fact, if you can comment on it that you saw it there, let me know. I appreciate it. Just like on the regular podcast, if you want to support the show, there's a QR code on this side here. Just scan it with your phone and you can contribute to the production of the show. And I would appreciate that. And again, I don't know when my next episode review is going to be. I haven't decided yet. So I'm not sure about that. We'll see. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about briefly with television, even though I don't do TV reviews, I do them on Twitter really quickly. I started the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender. So anyone, of course, that's familiar with the animated show that was on Nickelodeon, one of the greatest animated series I think of all time. It's phenomenal. It's great. Even people that are not fans of animated shows, I would highly recommend checking it out. I think it's airing on Netflix too, but the live action series dropped last week. I am watching it with my wife. I'm on episode, I think 3, the third episode I think we've gotten through. Like I said, I've enjoyed it so far. I think the one review that I read, I think is going to end up probably being accurate, that it's better than the Shyamalan movie, and it's not as good as the animated series, which if it's somewhere in the middle there, I think it's going to be enjoyable. So I'm definitely enjoying it so far. And we'll see what these 8 episodes have in store. Don't know if there's going to be another season. My son, who's watching it as well, who's a big fan of the animated series, he's already asking me if there's going to be a season 2. I'm like, I don't know. They just dropped it last week. As soon as I find out, I'll let him know. He's very anxious to find out if there's going to be a second season because he's already almost blown through the episodes. Thought he's going to watch it with mom and dad, but he went ahead and did it on his own. So he's ahead of us, of course. And he likes to spoil. So I got to stay away from where he's going to spoil the end of the first season of Avatar. So, but again, I liked it so far. Like I said, if you haven't seen the animated series, I highly recommend it. It's phenomenal. So I'm just going to wrap it up here. Like I said, this was a test run of the mini cast. I'm going to try to do these, frequently, in between episodes, just to keep it out there. If you have any suggestions or anything you want me to talk about on the mini cast, or if you have any comments about it, please let me know. You can email the show at bendyourearpodcast@gmail.com. Twitter handles at bendyourearpod. That's also the handle for Instagram. And you can, if you can, like the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is Bend Your Ear Podcast. Let me Bend Your Ear Podcast. And of course, if you can like the Facebook page as well, I would appreciate that. Like I said, they're trying to build up subscriber base, likes on the pages, just engagement overall with the show. Because I really enjoy that. I really enjoy talking movies with you guys out there. So if you can help raise the engagement and recommend it to anyone that would be interested in movie podcasts, I would appreciate it. So again, I'm going to sign off here and see if it's actually airing on Instagram. So again, you can reach out to the show or hit me up on X. Have a great week, everybody. Take care.